This is Peter from PeterClarkTheWriter, and today I'm here with a review of Coraline. You might be wondering, what am I doing on the Literary Gladiators channel? Well, I'm going to answer that. I'm here today because Josh was saying that he was doing a guest contributor series, and I just had to get involved with it because I think the Literary Gladiators, all of their videos, all of your videos are fantastic. The reviews, and together they make up just such a really awesome team. And so I really love their channel, and I'd love if they'd have me back eventually. But let's see how this first one goes. Coraline, by Neil Gaiman. I'm a huge fan of the Coraline movie. It's claymation, if you've never seen it, directed by Henry Selick, one of my favorite directors. He directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. He's just a really amazing, very visual and incredible director. So I've always loved that movie for a while now. It's just very creepy and interesting. Great for Halloween. So I figured it's October, I have to read Coraline. I'm such a fan of the movie, I have to read this. And I need to read more Neil Gaiman. That's just, in general, he's got so many amazing books out there that I keep hearing a lot of stuff about. So I read it, and my god, it did not disappoint. It is a little different from the movie in ways I did not expect. Let's just start with the characters in the story. Coraline Jones moves into the Pink Palace with her parents, and, you know, her world is sort of just boring. It's not black, it's black and white. It is the beginning of Wizard of Oz, basically. Everything's boring and black and white, and then we get to the color world, and everything's better. What I love about this, the twist in this book compared to, let's say, Wizard of Oz, is that there's a reason why the colorful and better world is bad. You know, like that lesson of it's always greener on the other side. It coincides with be careful what you wish for, and I love stories like this, sort of cautionary tales of appreciate what you have and where you live, and who you are and your family, because if you always want something better, there's probably going to be a negative twist to that, and boy is there a twist in this. So what I noticed about the book was that she's way more, what's the word I'm looking for? Alone. In the movie she has YB and she gets to talk to more characters. Here it's really just her, then there's the cat and the mother and the father, but really it's just her. She has, you know, there's not too many other people to talk to. Also it's more of a bottle kind of story. She doesn't really go as many places. There's just not as much traveling. It's very focused on the Pink Palace and her activities there. The imagery that Neil Gaiman comes up with is just so original and wacky, and the other mother, everything that goes, like the button eyes. It's something I've never really seen or read before. It's creepy with a tinge of fantasy. And it's stuff like that, the genre twisting, the genre bending. I love stuff like that, and so that's why I love Coraline so much. Even though it's sort of out of the genre that I normally read. It's sort of horror, but kid horror fantasy. What I really like is that he focuses so much on the characters and the setting, and if you have the characters and setting down, we all know that's what makes a great story, and you really get to live in the Pink Palace, and you get to be Coraline on this adventure, on this journey, and it just gets darker and it's more twisted as you get to the end. And then sort of as everything resolves, I really was left wanting more. I would love to read more about her adventures and some more into this world. And like the cat. My favorite thing of the whole thing is the cat. I love talking sort of scary cats, like from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Salem, and any sort of black cat has a lot of symbolism to it, and it's very creative, the way everything played out. Also, just like the way you start the book, it's really cool. It starts out with this quote by G.K. Chesterton. "Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten." And I love that, because it gives you a reason for why literature and stories really exist, which is they tell you that you can do what you think you can't, even if it's completely impossible. And I really love that quote. It's sort of creepy and it really gets you into the atmosphere of the book. So normally I don't really like quotes in front of books, but that one just happened to be like perfect to fit it. So of course Neil Gaiman will find the best quotes. Obviously, it's Neil Gaiman. But definitely it just leaves me wanting to read way more of his. I want to read The Sandman, just added that to my TBR. Definitely just more of his stuff, more creepy stuff before Halloween gets here. I definitely want to read some more stuff to get in the mood. So that was my review of Coraline. Thank you, Literary Gladiators, for having me on your channel. If you do want to see more of my reviews and stuff, Peter Clark the Writer, check it out. As always, I encourage you to keep reading, and toodaloo.